Well, welcome back again, everyone. Good to see you. Today I'm reviewing the third member of the Colt series. This is the Colt Fuerte. And this is the Churchill 7x48. If you notice, all the Colt bands are the same, of course. Only thing different is the word Fuerte at the bottom. Also has a nice pigtail cap. Kind of neat. There's your density. Notice that the foot is has a partial covering. Just here's a picture of it, better shot. You'll see what I mean. And that's just done. Actually, it's sort of cool looking. I don't know any other reason they would do it. This cigar is 7x48, Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Ometepe Nicaraguan binder, and Jalapa Nicaraguan filler. It's described by the good folks at Colt Cigars as a more full-bodied cigar, which always has my interest when we're dealing with predominantly Nicaraguan tobacco. So let's dispense with any other chit-chat and get right to it. One thing before I go, you'll notice those boxes behind me are steadily climbing. We are 2 weeks away from the South Carolina sit-down, and the cigar industry has been quite generous, so I look forward to having a very successful event. April 20th here at Hemingway Saloon in Irmo, South Carolina, if you can make it. Alright, so let's get right to the review of the Colt Fuerte. Alright, I've been sitting here trying to gently start the Fuerte band at the foot, and I have successfully started it, and it came off beautifully. Here is the word Fuerte, which roughly translated means strength. Anytime you have a pigtail cap, if it's tightly wound, you can pinch off that pigtail and use that. Sometimes the wrapper doesn't want to cooperate, in my experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off just about only that pigtail, like that. Effortless draw. Actually, there's the pigtail. See it? That's all I took off. Proof. Alright. Colt Fuerte. I must say the Colt cigars were a nice surprise. I'd never heard of them, which means nothing because I don't know every cigar out there. I know most of them, but this is fairly new and it's been quite impressive to me. Well, the first flavors I'm getting are a lot of black pepper, B, a lot of sweet orange-like citrus notes, and a very nice cream attached to them. There's another flavor here, deeper. Just a touch of leather. That's the initial flavors I'm getting, and it is coming across medium to full bodied right off the bat. Now I'm interested to see how far this cigar will go toward or into full body, so I'm going to let it sit for just a minute. No secret there, I do that with all my cigars when I review them, and we'll let it settle down and we'll see where the flavors take us from here. The Colt Fuerte Churchill underway. Well, I'm actually about 3/4 of an inch, maybe closer to an inch in. And what happened is the ash fell off here just a second ago. Not a big deal, but it did. So that's why you don't see any initial ash. I was sitting here thinking about how small a 48 ring gauge cigar looks nowadays when there's so many large rings out there, and I've had a lot lately. But it almost looks like a Lonsdale to me now. Sort of a statement on the current wave in the cigar industry. Everything seems to be 60 ring gauge. 48 looks tiny. But the flavors have definitely settled down. You still have that citrus, and it is sweet. I don't really detect any richness in it, but it's nice and sweet. Cream backing and a lot of leather undertones, giving it a more full-bodied feel. The pepper is very good. I'll stick with the assessment of black pepper. Black, white, or red. Pick one. I'm picking black. And it is very much medium to full body. The finish, which we haven't talked about at all, is, well, let's check it. It's actually a little short, and it's basically a cream, but it's toasted cream. I like that term, toasted cream. Not many people use it, but it is that. If you were to make a cream and it was just before burning it, scorching it, it's a little toasty. It's toasted cream. Now you also have a lot of nutmeg notes now, since the cigar has gotten into itself an inch or so in. A lot of times I find citrus and cream sort of merge into nutmeg. You still have those citrus notes and the cream notes, but you do get nutmeg now. And cigar's going along nicely. I will be back as soon as something else changes. Well, I'm about 2 inches in. There we are. And it's pretty much full-blown nutmeg now, with leather and coffee. There's now coffee at the base, giving it a nice base. The pepper is coming across score-wise at around a 7. It's a soft 7. It's not, you know, it could be like 6.8, you know, if I was that technical. I'm not gonna be. But it's around a 7. Finish is unchanged, and cigar is going along nicely. It is actually, for a Churchill, burning rather quickly. I'm about 20 minutes in at this point, and I'm already 2 inches down. So it's not a long smoke for a Churchill. But be that as it may, it is nice, and it is playing off more full-bodied. It is still what I'd call medium to full-bodied. That's about it. Not much else to say at this point, except I'll be back. About 3 inches remaining. And I need to remove the band, but the nutmeg is still there. It's still your main flavor, sweet of any sweetness, and it is subtly sweet, not overly sweet. There's just a touch of bitterness involved, and the leather is quite prominent. It is right behind the nutmeg notes. The coffee is acting as a base, as we said before, but the nutmeg is quite prominent. I mean, the leather, excuse me, is quite prominent. And I believe that is what's giving the cigar a fuller bodied feel. It is medium to full body still, but anytime leather is present, it gives more of a fuller body. The pepper is still about the same, finish is about the same. And now there's your band. and I twice the ash has fallen off on me, and I almost did the third time, and I made it to the ashtray. Not a deal breaker of any kind really, but be aware of it. If you're wearing nice pants or a nice shirt, might get a surprise. So that's where we are with about 3 inches remaining. There it is without the band. I'll be back in just a minute with another update. Well, we're done to the end, so let's wrap it up. At this point, I'm about 1 hour and 10 minutes in. That's it. Churchill in 1 hour and 10 minutes. The nutmeg notes are still your main flavor. There is very little sweetness there. It's a nice flavor of nutmeg, but it's not overly sweet. There's been no richness in the cigar. The leather notes are still prominent, and the coffee acts as a base. The pepper has been very good. If anything, I think it has ticked up to about an 8, and the finish is unchanged. Toasted cream, some nice lingering pepper there. Cigar ended up medium to full bodied. This is the third of the cult cigars I've reviewed. I did the original series first, then the Ometepe, and now this Fuerte. It does have a lot of flavors that lead it to feel, taste, should say, fuller bodied than the others, but it lacks sweetness and any richness at all. Of the three, this one, for me, will get the lowest score, and by that I mean an 88. I like the flavors in this cigar. I just wish they were sweet and a little richer. Any richness would have been nice. The Cult series has been an amazingly good series. I have enjoyed all of them, including this one. And the box that these come in is probably one of the nicest boxes you will see. Take a look at it right here. I actually have 3 boxes of the original series that one of my cigar distributors sent me for the sit down. So someone will get a very nice cigar. It is the original series, but the box is just amazing. It's very heavy. It's very has a lot of metal on it, as you can see. But this cigar really just fell short in sweetness and richness. If it had more sweetness and richness at all, it would have been a phenomenal cigar. I like the fuller bodied flavors, but again, for me, it just lost ground with the sweetness and richness. So be that as it may, the Cult Fuerte, good cigar. I want you to try it if you see them on shelves. 88.